Hey guys, Mauro here. I had the chance to watch a tournament with college Division Two guys, and one of the things that really got my attention is how often you see these young kids that some of them were really good, but when their matches get like really tight, they get to the point they start kind of pushing the ball and they bring their game down so much that instead of looking like a Division Two kind of player, they look, with all due respect to the guys of level 3-5 or 4-0, but that's how they looked. And I think I think that is something that happens even to the world class athletes. I have the chance to go pretty much every year to watch the tournament in Acapulco. That's my hometown. And believe me, I've seen in both in male and the female players, I've seen players that they're in trouble and they get to the point where I've seen players hitting that second serve when the game was tight, when the match was tight, hitting that second serve like a 4-5, literally, just pushing that ball. And with this, I wanted to come to this because that just tells me that it doesn't matter. You don't have to, if you're the kind of person that gets really tight when you're under pressure, when it gets to you and you kind of start losing trust of your game, don't feel bad because don't feel like, oh my God, I'm such a mediocre player that fear takes over. And I start looking like that. I start doing stuff like that, like not playing my game, because that happens to the college players that are good, and that even happens to guys that play in the world tour. Now, that's why it's so important to learn. You gotta learn to look at failure. If that's happening to you, that means that your perspective of losing is completely wrong. You are letting ego and pride and your self-value attach to the result of to your matches, to the results that you're having, to the output, instead of saying, I have to focus I have to focus on my game in the process, never ever on the result, because the result is nothing. The result while you're playing is a ghost. It doesn't even exist. It's just something that is completely related to what you is result is just a side effect of how you're working on the court or anything else, where you have your head. If you're thinking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put everything I got in the process. I'm gonna improve my forehand, my backhand, my serve. My slice is not working good because I'm not getting down with my knees. Well, I'm being lazy in the footwork aspect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay attention to that. So that's why it's a cliche, and I know that many times sounds stupid and irrelevant, but you got to work the process. When you run, let's say you run a marathon, a 10-mile marathon, the process is from the beginning and 10 miles all the way till the end. The very end, that's just the result. That's all it lasts. Everything else is important part. All the time that you spend running those 10 miles, that is a process. How can you have in your mind the idea that the process is that, you cannot wrap your head around the fact that if you do the process perfect in every way, professionally, throwing everything you got well done, the way you move in the footwork, the way you hit the ball, keeping your eyes on the ball, instead of focusing where your shot is going, letting the body hit, you just pay attention to moving and doing every single thing that you have to do. You pay attention to that like a world class performer, and believe me, the results, your professional performance is going to take care of the results. It's as simple as that. You do not even have to worry about the result. It is just a side effect of you being professional, of you doing it the way it's supposed to be done. Now, When you lose, if you fail, you have to understand that it's a passage. It's just something that is gonna happen in a moment, and it's gonna be gone. And how many times, just think about it, how many losses you have that you never got out of it, never got nothing out of it. Look at the mistakes. Think of the mistakes that you made in that match that you lost 1 week, 2 months, or 2 years ago, and you walked out of the court and you never even took the time to say what went wrong. When someone asks you, so what happened? Oh, I just play horrible. And I don't know. I mean, I got tight, or the other guy was too good. I mean, you do not take the time to say, okay, sit down with yourself and have a conversation and say, okay, what happened? What can I get out of this? What can I get out of this match that is gonna make my game better? What can I get out of this failure that is going to prevent that I'm gonna do the same thing the next time? People don't take time on that. That is a basic. If you're a father, if you're a parent, you're a father or you're a mother. If you're a teacher, if or in your job, when something goes wrong and it really costs you, let's say, mistakes at work, or mistakes in school, or mistakes with your partner, when there is a real repercussions because of it, when there is something, when something goes wrong, and you're gonna have real consequences, because a match doesn't have real consequences. You just lost the match and you move on, and probably in 2 days you're gonna have the next match. But when there is something that you have real consequences, like messing up with your partner, with your wife or your boyfriend, or at work or school, you think about it. You say, what the hell why did I do that? Why did I react like that? Why did I respond like that? Why don't you do that when you play tennis? You got to really say, okay, what went wrong, and don't try to come to the conclusions and analyze a match right after you finish, because many times we are not in a balanced state of mind. We are emotionally disturbed because we lost, because we fail, because in the moment we're feeling like we suck big time. You wait 1 day, 2 days, you know yourself better, but you got to, when your mind is calm and cold, so you can look at things clearer, sit down and say, okay, let's talk now. And that talk it's a talk with yourself. Let's go through it now. Let's analyze it. What went wrong? Now that I'm calm, I can tell that he was doing this to me and I never reacted to that. Or I was doing this and I never reacted to that. But you got to take the time. That is the only way that you're going to be able to grab setbacks and say, I can turn this thing around. Tennis is like relationships. When you just split with your wife or your girlfriend, or you had like a big fight with someone really close to you, in the moment, it always looks horrible. It always looks like the world is just closing down on you. You have to wait until you calm down and then you go through it. If you have the problem that fear takes over and you bring your game from being a 4-5 or a 5-0 or a 3-5 lower, then that means that what you wrap that around your head with failure is very wrong. You're looking at it and you're approaching it in the very wrong way, and you're obviously not taking time to think about it. So you have to get, in a few words, you have to learn to fail, learn and fail over and over. That is the best way you're gonna grow that shark or crocodile skin, thick, impenetrable. That is the only way you're gonna say, you know what? I fail over and over and over. And when you mess up so many times, you say, this is not so bad after all. It's not the end of the world. But you have to do it. There is no way. The only way you're gonna develop a different view, a different perception, a different thought, a different reaction, a different action, a different approach towards risk, towards setbacks, is just hitting that wall. Just go all out at it, over and over. I guarantee you, if you go out there, let's say you have a guy in the club that he's your arch rival, and many times you don't want to play the guy because you're afraid of losing to the guy, or you don't want to play your game because you're afraid of losing to the guy. That's why your game, you beat the guy, but you beat the guy pushing the ball, being completely different player, and you beat the guy just pushing the ball. When if you really play with your game, you know you could beat the guy easier or better, but you're just fearful. Go out there, play that person, lose to that person. They're gonna mock you. They're gonna throw all the crap to you. Lose to the person a second time or a third time. By the third time, believe me, they're not gonna say much. And if they do, because of this, you're gonna be more in a place where this is not that bad. I can get over it. This is not that bad. Now I saw it. Now I felt it. I can get over this. You're going to start finding yourself in the position. You're going to start finding yourself in the land where you say, wow, how come I didn't do this before? That's the only way, guys. That's the only way you get over it. Don't let your game drop because of fear. You got to learn. You have to learn. There is no way to control it. But even being fearful, you can transcend it, and you just change the chip in your head, the way you see it, and the way you translate fear related to your self-worth. Okay? All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you next time. Give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and well, go out there. I always say, be bold, be perseverant, and I wish you luck. Let me know how you do, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.